OilSorb is an absorbent system for cleaning oil and petroleum derivatives from solid and water surfaces. In the laboratory, an oil spill is distributed on the surface of clean water. Then OilSorb is sprinkled over the oil spill in a weight ratio of 1 part of OilSorb to 3 parts of oil. In a matter of minutes, OilSorb absorbs the oil and can easily be removed from the water. The soft oil does not sink to the bottom. A section of a large pond is enclosed by containment booms. The equipment for OilSorb treatment is installed. The equipment used is a motor pulser and a jet gun. The demonstration begins with a black oil slick being placed on the water surface. A protection buffer zone is established with the use of the motor pulser, the jet gun and OilSorb. The treatment begins from the outside of the spill to the centre. The OilSorb attracts the oil spill and the spill is then compacted, localised and collected. The oil spill is transformed into a doughy mass and is then pumped into a heavy polypropylene sack. The water is separated through the sack's mesh and returns to the pond. The oil-soaked OilSorb is now ready for further processing and salvaging. This animation is used to demonstrate how to build a protective buffer zone with OilSorb in the coastal zone. An oil spill driven by the wind and current is headed towards the beach. OilSorb is then dumped into the water. The oil spill interacts with the OilSorb to form a consolidated mass. The oil spill movement is fully blocked by the OilSorb. A perimeter of containment booms is then placed around the spill. The consolidated oil spill and OilSorb is then pumped into heavy polypropylene sacks and transferred to a place of further processing. If the foreshore has become contaminated with an oil spill, OilSorb is spread directly over the affected area. A defined water area is then enclosed with containment booms. The contaminated area is then washed out into the water using a water jet or wave motion. The consolidated oil spill and OilSorb is then pumped into heavy polypropylene sacks and transferred to a place of further processing. The process is then repeated until the coastal area is totally clean. OilSorb can be used on hard surfaces too. Heavy oil is spilled on a porous asphalt surface. The polluted area is treated with OilSorb. In a few minutes, the OilSorb soaks up the oil. After 15 minutes, the solid mass is ready for removal and salvaging. The process is then repeated until the surface is completely free from oil. OilSorb can also be reused once it has been used and processed. Separation of the oil and OilSorb can be achieved with a centrifugal device. Oil is poured over the surface of clean water. The OilSorb is then distributed over the oily water surface. A balloon whisk is used to mix up the oil and OilSorb and to emulate the conditions of bad weather, wind, waves and strong current. The consolidated soggy OilSorb is now easily removed from the water with the aid of a sieve. The collected oil-soaked OilSorb is then placed in a common juice extractor where the oil is separated from the OilSorb. More heavy oil is again added to the water surface. OilSorb is not combustible, not able to clot, and it retains its properties even after prolonged exposure to ultraviolet light. More of the oil-saturated OilSorb is processed through the centrifugal juice extractor. Oil and the OilSorb can now be reused. The separated OilSorb is now poured out on a clean piece of white paper before being returned to the water surface. There are no residual oil stains on the piece of paper, which shows the high degree of purification it achieves. The process can now be repeated. Oilsorb can be used in any meteorological conditions, in either fresh or salty water with an oil blanket of any thickness, from a fine rainbow membrane to a heavy one sunk to the bottom. Oilsorb has a mechanical resistance, resistibility to any damaging effects, and does not require any special storage conditions. After 2 cycles of treatment of the oil spill and centrifugal separation, the Oilsorb has not lost its absorbent qualities, did not precipitate, and did not pollute the water. The drained oil is ready for further processing and reuse. Oilsorb can also be used to remove oil contamination from birds and other wildlife. Firstly, a containment vessel is fitted with an air hose inlet as shown. A quantity of Oilsorb is added to the vessel. The contaminated bird is then placed in the vessel and secured with a cloth hood that is then fastened to the vessel. The air inlet is turned on and blows the Oilsorb throughout the bird's feather and skin. The bird is removed from the vessel and further treated with more application of Oilsorb and then brushed with a soft brush to remove contamination. Once clean of pollution, the bird can be returned to the wild. Oilsorb is ecologically safe and environmentally friendly. A quantity of Oilsorb is emptied into the aquarium. The fish have no adverse reaction to its presence at all. After a few days of monitoring, even if there is a large amount of Oilsorb on the water, the fish's behaviour or health has not been affected in any way. Visit oilsorb.com.au for more information.